What is up, guys? We are facing Zola on expert mode with Peter Parker Spider-Man. So Zola's one reviewed effect, search the encounter deck for the test subject side scheme and reveal it. So we have this right here with 2 threat and a hazard icon. And then with the main scheme setup, we put a ultimate boss servant into play. He has toughness. And then we also review the Hydra Prison side scheme. When reviewed, each player searches their deck and discard out for their hero-specific ally. So for us, we're looking for a Black Cat. And we place her face down underneath this card right here. It will have 1 threat plus 1 additional threat for each card underneath there, so 2 total threat. And then let's go ahead and shuffle up the encounter deck here. And then let's shuffle up our player deck. And then draw up to our hand size of 6. And let's see what we get. All right. So let's keep coasting here. And we want the energy. We don't need Pavitri. And I'm tempted to throw away some of these cards as well. Let's mulligan these 4 cards and then draw 4 more. Okay, all right, let's use Peter Parker's Scientist to generate a mental resource. This would be 2 more for a total of 3. So we can play Agent Coulson. When you enters play, search your deck and discard off for a preparation card, add to your hand. So we're looking for Spycraft here. Let's see, where's it? I'm gonna put it in our hand, and then shuffle back up. All right, and then let's go ahead and use this as 3 resources so we can play a Beacop. This is a double resource when paying for a yellow card, so we can play the Under Surveillance and attach this to the main scheme. This will increase the target threat value of the main scheme by 4. So instead of it flipping at 6, it will flip at 10 now, which will give us some breathing room. Let's go ahead and flip over now to Spider-Man. Coulson will thwart for 2 from test subjects right here. That will clear this off. He will take a consequential damage. When defeated, the first player discards cards from top of the encounter deck until they discard a minion and then review that minion. So we are going to mill down until we get a minion here. So we got Zola's Mutate. When reviewed, discard cards from top of the encounter deck until a tech attachment is discarded and attach that card to Zola's Mutate. So we're milling down again for a tech attachment, and we got him right here because he was reviewed with this card's effect. Attached to a minion, or it just goes on him, he gets plus 2 hit points and guard. So he will have 7 hit points and guard right here for Zola's Mutate. This is now defeated. All right, and then let's exhaust Beacop to move 1 threat from this side scheme right here over to the Beacop. And then Spider-Man is going to swing for 2 at Zola's Mutate for 2 damage. That'll end our turn. Let's ready back up and then draw back up to our hand size of 5. All right, so it is Zola's turn. He will add 1 threat to the main scheme. He's going to attack us. Spider Sense activates. When the villain initiates an attack against you, draw 1 card. Drawing a card here. Let's see. So he's hitting with a base of 2. We don't have anything here. Let's just defend this attack. So it's hitting with a base of 2 plus a boost card here of the boost effect. Give the villain a tough status card. So he will have a tough status card. Oh, and I forgot. After resolving, so let's go back a little bit to the beginning of the villain phase. After placing threat here from the first step of the villain phase, we also place a test counter on here. When there are 3 test counters, then we discard cards from the counter deck until we get a minion and then put that minion into play. Okay, so Zola just attacked us for 2. We're blocked for 3. We take no damage. This guy hits us for 1, and this guy will hit us for 2 for 3 damage total. So we're dropping from 10 down 7 here. And then we get 1 face down encounter card, which is Concussive Blast. When reviewed, deal 1 damage to each friendly character. So Coulson will take 1 damage, and Spider-Man takes 1 damage, dropping from 7 down to 6. All right, and then it's back to our turn. Let's see, I am very tempted to get Moon Girl down. Let's see, we get her down. What does that do for us? Let's see. Let's just do it anyways. Actually, let's check our discard pile. Yeah, we still do have Aunt May back there. Okay, let's flip over to Peter Parker. And then we will use Scientist to generate a mental resource. This will be 2 more mental resources right here, for a total of 3. So you can play Moon Girl. Play only if you have the champion or genius trait. We do have the genius trait as Peter Parker. After you play Moon Girl from your hand, draw 1 card for each mental resource used to pay for it. We use 3 cards, so we're gonna draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then this would be our last backflip, but I think that would be the play anyways. So this would be 4 resources when paying for a yellow card, because the power of justice can count as a double. So we can play Lady Spider here. Now let's use this as a resource to play Endurance. This will increase our max hit points by 3, so we're going from 6 up to 9 for current hit points as well. Okay, next, let's see, this guy has guard and +2 hit points, so he has a total of 7 hit points. If we all attack, we can defeat him. So Moon Girl, Lady Spider, and Coulson will all swing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that'll do 5 damage. He has 7 hit points, so he is defeated. And he will get discarded along with his attachment here. Then all the allies will take consequential damage. Moon Girl and Lady Spider take 2, Coulson takes 1, and Coulson is defeated. And then let's exhaust Beat Cop to move 1 threat from the main scheme over to the Beat Cop. That will end our turn. Let's ready everyone back up, and then draw back up to our hand size of 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it is Zola's turn. 1 threat to the main scheme, and then we add a test counter right away. And then Zola's gonna scheme with the base of 2 plus a boost card here of 0. This guy's scheming for 1 for a total of 3. So we're gonna add 3 threat to the main scheme. It's going up to 4. And we get 1 face down and counter card, which is Master Plan. Place 4 threat on each side scheme. So this right here will go up to 5. Okay, and then it is back to our turn. Let's see here. Let's see. We can only play late SPDR if we control a web word card, and we do have a web word card with Lady Spider here. So let's use Scientist to generate a mental resource. This would be a second resource, so we can play SPDR here. And then let's go ahead and flip over to Spider-Man, and I think we want to go ahead and thwart Lady Spider. So Lady Spider will thwart for 2 from this side scheme right here to bring this from 5 down to 3. With her effect, after she thwarts and removes threat from a scheme, if we control another web word card, we do with SPDR, then we can remove an equal amount of threat from different schemes. So let's get 2 off the main scheme as well. So drop down from 4 to 2. And then she'll take consequential damage, and Lady Spider is discarded here. I should have played the War of the Great Web first, but that's okay. Okay, let's use this as 2 resources. So we can play Ironheart. When Ironheart enters play, draw 1 card. And then, ooh, I actually want to keep Nick Fury. That's okay. Let's use Nick Fury as a resource to play the War of the Great Web. Attach your character with Spider-Man style. Let's get the Spider-Man. We now gain the Web War trait. And when a Web War ally leads play, we get +1 attack until the end of the phase. So SPDR is going to swing at the Ultimate Battle Servant to ping off Tough. She will take a consequential damage. And then we actually want to keep him in play because of the tech attachments here. So let's exhaust Beat Cop to move 1 threat from the main scheme over. And then, let's see, Spider-Man has 2 attack. Let's have Ironheart swing at the Ultimate Battle Servant for 1. Should take a consequential damage. Spider-Man will swing at Zola to remove his Tough stats card. He has Retaliate, so it's gonna hit his back for 1. That will drop us from 9 down to 8. That will end our turn, so let's ready back up. And then draw back up to our hand size of 5. Okay, it is Zola's turn. 1 threat to the main scheme, and then he adds a 3rd test counter. When there are 3, we discard cards from the top of the counter deck until we get a minion, and then we put that minion into play. So we got another Ultimate Battle Servant. He gets put into play with toughness. And then we can remove these 3 test counters from here. Okay. And then Zola's going to attack us. Spider Sense activates, so we can draw a card. We got Aunt May, which is great. So we do have 8 hit points. I think we could just take it because we have Aunt May now. So he's hitting with a base of 2 plus a boost card here of the boost effect. Place 1 test counter on the main scheme. So let's get a test counter on here. So it's only hitting us for 2. We're gonna take it. This guy hits us for 1. This guy hits us for 1 for a total of 4. So that'll drop us from 8 down to 4. And we get 1 face down encounter card, which is Shadow of the Past. Let's cancel it. So we're going to use Enhanced Spire Sense. When a treachery card is reviewed from the counter deck, cancel its 1 reviewed effects. And we will use the War of the Great Web as a resource to pay for it. Alright. And then it is back to our turn here. Let's see. I do want to get Aunt May down. But I also really want to get Mansion down. We could do both with SPDR's effect to recur herself. Okay, so SPDR will thwart for 2 from the main scheme. That'll clear this off. She would take excess consequential damage when that happens. With her effect, she comes back to our hand. Okay, next, let's go ahead. Spider-Man is going to swing for 2 at the Ultimate Battle Servant. Or actually, he gets +1 attack with the effect of the War of the Great Web, so he's swinging for 3 because SPDR let play. So that would defeat the Ultimate Battle Servant here, which is awesome. And then we will flip back over to Peter Parker again. Let's use Scientist to generate a mental resource. This would be 3 more resources for a total of 4, so it can play Avengers Mansion. Exhaust it to draw 1 card. Let's use this as a resource to play Aunt May. We'll exhaust her so we can heal by 4 to go from 4 up to 8 here. Alright, and let's see, our deck is getting close to milling out, so let's get Moon Girl out of here. We're gonna have Ironheart attack to remove the Tough Stats card from the Ultimate Battle Servant here. She would take consequential damage and be discarded. Let's exhaust Beatcop to move 1/3 from the Hydra prison over to Beatcop. So Beatcop now has 4, and this now has 2. Okay, and then what should Moon Girl do? Let's have her swing at Zola for 2 to bring from 14 down to 12. She would take a retaliate and consequential damage, so she gets discarded. And that will end our turn. So let's ready everyone back up, and then draw back up to our hand size of 6. We do deck out here, so we get a face down encounter card. And then let's shuffle up the discard pile back to the deck. And then we do draw 1 more card, back up to 6 here. Okay, for our hand size. Okay, so it is Zola's turn. He's gonna add 1 to the main scheme. Then he will add a test counter with the effect of the main scheme. Then he's going to scheme with the base of 2 plus a boost card. Boost effect, place 1 test counter on the main scheme. For each test counter on the main scheme, Zola gets +1 attack and +1 scheme. Okay, so we get a test counter here. He's now scheming with 5 plus 0 with the boost. So that's gonna be 5 threat on here. And then we activate the force response here. So we discard all the test counters and then mill from the encounter deck until we get a minion, and we got an Ultimate Battle Servant here. These guys will both scheme for 1 each, so 1, 2. That will go up to 8 now with the main scheme. And luckily we do have the under surveillance, so it won't flip until it hits 10. So we have a little bit of a breathing room. And then we get 1 face down encounter card for a total of 2. And the first one here is an advance. So Zola is going to scheme with a base of 2 plus a boost card of 3. So that will add 5 to here. This will flip the main scheme over. So when that happens, the under surveillance is discarded, and then this will go away. When reviewed, each player just searches the encounter deck and discard out for a minion and then review that minion. So let's put out a Berserk Mutate here. He has Quick Strike, but we're in Alter Ego form, so Quick Strike won't go off. And then we, let's see, and we flip this over. It also says to shuffle the encounter deck. So let's just do that anyways. And this right here has the same effect, the Mad Doctor, and it will start off with 1 threat right here. All right, and then, okay, so he's schemed with that advance. We still have 1 more encounter card, Concussive Blast, do 1 damage to each friendly character. So we're gonna take 1, dropping from 8 down to 7. All right, it's back to our turn. Let's use Aunt May to heal. So we go from 7 back up to 11 here. And then let's exhaust Avengers Mansion so we can draw a card. Shoot into a backflip. Okay, we don't have any allies here, but we have a bunch of we have 2 swinging web kicks. Let's see. We use Scientist to generate a mental resource so we can play a web shooter down. So I have 3 web counters. And then let's flip over to Spiderman here. And let's see, we can use this as 3 resources. So we can play a swinging web kick. And let's hit Zola for 8. That will bring him from 12 down to 4. He has retaliate, so it's gonna hit us back for 1. That'll drop us from 11 down to 10. And then, let's see, we wanna get rid of one of the minions here. So let's use the web shooters to generate 1 resource. This would be 2 more for a total of 3. So we can play a swinging web kick. And let's hit this guy right here to defeat him. And then exhaust Beat Cop to move 1 threat from the main scheme over. So now Beat Cop will have 5 threat on here. And then Spiderman will swing for 2 at this guy right here, the Berserk mutate for 2 damage. That'll end our turn. Let's ready back up. And then draw back up to our hand size, 5. Oh man, I am tempted to flip over again. Okay, it is Zola's turn. That's probably not a good idea. He adds a test counter after adding threat to main scheme. He attacks us, Spider Sense activates, so we can draw a card. And then I think we want to just take the attack. Actually, let's take it. Yeah, he's hitting with a base of 2 plus a boost card here of 2 more for 4 damage. That'll drop us from 10 down to 6. This guy hits us for 2. That'll drop us from 6 down to 4. This guy hits us for 1. That'll drop us from 4 down to 3. And we get 1 face down encounter card, which is an advance. So Zola is scheming with the base of 2 plus a boost card here of 1 for a total of 3. And since we got rid of the second advance, I think we are good to flip again. Okay, let's exhaust Avengers Mansion first so we can draw a card. And then this will have to be our last flip if we're gonna do this flip here. Okay, let's see. I think we're gonna first have Spider-Man. We could get. No, yeah, okay, we're just gonna have Spider-Man attack the Berserk mutate. That would defeat this minion right here. And then let's flip over to Peter Parker, exhaust animated heal. So we go from 3 up to 7. And then we want to get Moon Girl down. So let's use this, let's see, Scientist, this, and then I think we actually need to use either Ironheart or the Power of Justice. I think let's use Ironheart. So Scientist would generate 1 mental resource. This would be 2 more for a total of 3. So we can play Moon Girl again. And then we can draw 3 cards because we use 3 mental resources. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is looking like a lot better. This pays for her. We can still pay for SPDR here as well. Okay, so let's use this as 4 resources when paying for a yellow card because the Power of Justice can count as a double. So we can play Lady Spider back down again. Okay. And then, let's see, let's have Lady Spider thwart for 2 from the main scheme here. With her effect, she can remove another 2 threat from a scheme piece. We have a Web War card in Peter Parker because of the War of the Great Web. So to get 2 off of the Hydra prison here. When the threat is removed from here, this gets removed from the game and we get Black Cat into our hand here. Okay. Next, let's use this as 2 resources so we can play SPDR down again. Oh, and Lady Spider should have taken 2 consequential damage there. All right. And then let's have Moon Girl. Actually, let's just exhaust a Beat Cop to move 1 threat from the main scheme over to the Beat Cop. And then SPDR will swing for 1 to ping off the Tough from the Ultimate Battle Servant. She will take a consequential damage. Moon Girl will swing for 2 to do 2 damage to Ultimate Battle Servant. That will end our turn. Let's ready back up. And then let's draw back up to our hand size of 6, hoping we don't thread out here. Okay, so it is Zola's turn. He will add 1 to the main scheme. Then he adds a test counter. He's scheming with the base of 2 plus a boost card here of 1 for a total of 3. This guy's scheming for 1, so we're gonna add 4 to here, so it will go from 2 up to 6. And we get 1 face down encounter card, which is Zola's Mutate. When reviewed, discard cards from top encounter deck until a tech attachment is discarded, and attach that to Zola's Mutate here. So we have one right here. Pain inhibitors, he gets +2 hit points and retaliate 1. So he's gonna have 7 hit points and a retaliate. Okay, so it's back to our turn. Let's use Avengers Mansion so we can draw a card. Let's exhaust animate so we can heal to go from 7 up to 11. And then we can play the Web of Life and Destiny for free. If our identity has a Web War trait, we have that with the War of the Great Web here. So we can put this for free. Whenever a Web War ally leaves play, we can draw a card. Next, let's see. We want to draw first, I think. So let's have SPDR Thwart for 2 from the main scheme. Just to bring this down. She will take excess consequential damage, come back to her hand. With her effect, with the effect of the Web of Life Destiny, we can draw 1 card because the Web War ally left play. And Nick Fury here is going to be great. Let's see, let's have Lady Spider attack Zola's Mutate for 2. And then she would take 2 consequential damage and retaliate, so she is defeated. Since another Web War ally left play, we can draw another card with the effect of the Web of Life and Destiny here. Okay, next we want to play Nick Fury. So let's use this as 3 resources and Scientist to generate a 4th. So we can play Nick Fury. When he enters play, choose 1. We're gonna pick the one and draw 3 cards. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's great. We can get a Beat Cop and Spycraft down, I believe. Okay, so let's flip over here to Spider-Man. We have +2 attack with the effect of the War of the Great Web. Oh wait, whoops, I forgot to give Moon Girl consequential damage last turn whenever she attacked the Ultimate Boss Serpent here. Okay, so anyways, Spider-Man has +2 attack because 2 Web War allies left play and Lady Spider and SPDR. So we have 4. This guy has 7 hit points. So we need a little bit more damage. Let's have Moon Girl swing for 2. And then Moon Girl will take consequential damage and retaliate, so she is defeated. Spider-Man will swing for 4. That will defeat this guy right here, and he won't retaliate because he's discarded here. Because he has 7 hit points, and that would be 8 total damage. Okay. And then we still want to keep this guy in play because of the tech attachments here. But with Nick Fury, and we can get down more cards for sure. Is there anything else to draw? There is not. Okay, so let's use this as a double resource so we can play SPDR. Back down again. Let's use this as 3 resources when paying for a yellow card because the Power of Justice can count as a double, so we get down a 2nd Beat Cop here. And then I think the priority would be the Spycraft. So let's use this as a resource to play Spycraft. Play only if you control a spy character. We have one in Nick Fury. When you review an encounter card, discard Spycraft, cancel effects of that card, and then review another card from the encounter deck. Let's exhaust both Beat Cops to get 2 threat off of the main scheme. So drop this down to 2. Each Beat Cop will have 1 more threat on it. Okay. SPDR will swing for 1 at the Ultimate Boss Serpent. So it has 1 hit point left and 3 damage. And then she will take a consequential damage. Nick Fury will swing for 2 at Zola. That will bring him from 4 down to 2. Nick will take a retaliate and a consequential damage. That will end our turn. Let's ready back up. And then draw back up to our hand size of 5, keeping both of these cards in our hand. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. It is Zola's turn. So he will add 1 threat to the main scheme. Then he's going to add a test counter. There are 3, so we're going to mill from the encounter deck until we get a minion. It gets put into play. He has Quick Strike here, so he's going to attack us for 2. I'm tempted to have, let's have Nick Fury block this. So the 2 goes to Nick. Nick is defeated. Okay, next, Zola is going to attack us. Spider Sense activates so we can draw a card. Let's take the attack and hit him with a base of 2, plus a boost of 2 more for 4 damage. We will use a backflip here. When you would take any amount of damage from an attack, prevent all that damage, so we can jump out of the way. These guys will hit us for 1, 2, 3, so that will bring us from 11 down to 8. And we get 1 face down encounter card, which is Concussive Blasters attached to villain. He gains Retaliate 1. We can exhaust your hero and spend 2 energy resources to discard that card. So I think we definitely need to do that. All right, let's see here. Let's use Avengers Mansion. Wait, let's see. We have 1 card left in our deck. So let's get rid of the Swing Web Kick first before we use Mansion here. We want to keep but Victory because he's an energy resource. So let's use this as 3 resources. So we can play a swinging web kick. Oh, wait. There's no point because Zola only has 2 hit points left. So let's flip him over actually. So Spiderman is going to swing for 2. None of these guys have guard, so let's hit Zola for 2. That'll bring him from 2 down to 0. He has retaliate 1 and a second retaliate with this, so it's gonna hit us back for 2. That'll bring us from 8 down to 6. And let's flip him over to his final stage here. When reviewed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and reviews it. So let's put a minion here. We can put, let's get another ultimate Bile Servant into play. Okay. And then he has 16 hit points. Okay. So we're not playing for victory anymore because we can't afford to. So let's use this as 3, or we're not doing this anymore because we're exhausted, I mean. So let's use this as 3 resources. So we can play a swinging web kick and hit Zola for 8. That will bring him from 16 down to 8. And he will retaliate for 2. That will bring us from 6 down to 4 here. Okay. Next, I think we want to get the mansion. Yeah, so let's exhaust Avengers Mansion. So we can draw a card. Since we decked out, we get a face down encounter card here. And let's shuffle up the discard pile back into the deck. So we are 1 swing web pick away from defeating Zola. None of these guys have guard, and we got rid of both of the advances in the encounter deck. We also have a Spycraft here. Okay, we definitely want to get SPDR for her action. Okay, let's have her thwart for 2 from the main scheme. With her effect, she can return back to our hand. Because she took excess consequential damage, we can now draw a card with the effect of the Web of Life and Destiny. We've got into Moon Girl here. That is super tempting. And I think I will flip over. I think, yeah, we're kind of planning on doing it anyways. But okay, let's see. So let's go ahead and just flip back to Peter Parker. We're going to exhaust Animated Heal to go from 4 up to 8. And then we want to get Moon Girl here down. Let's use Scientist to generate a mental resource. This will be 2 more resources, but only 1 more mental resource. So we can play Moon Girl. Since we use 2 mental resources to pay for it, we can draw 2 cards. And then let's use, we should have kept the Victory. I think we want to get SPDR back down. So let's use this as 2 resources to play SPDR here. Okay. Next, SPDR will swing for 1 at the ultimate Bile Servant here. That will defeat him. Oh, and I think this guy should have toughness. I don't think we ever removed that. So I think we forgot to put it on. So this guy will have toughness here. Okay. And SPDR takes 8 consequential damage. All right, next. Let's see. We do want to remove some threat. We can finish him off next turn, but we have to make sure that we can keep everything at bay. So let's have Moon Girl swing at this guy to remove tough. Should take 2 consequential damage. Let's exhaust Beacop for a second effect. Exhaust Beacop and discard it to deal damage to a minion equal to amount around here, so 7. So we do 7 damage to the ultimate Bile Servant. That will defeat him. We want to get rid of him because he has 1 scheme. And exhaust Beacop to move 1 threat from the main scheme over to the Beacop. And then that will end our turn. Yeah, so let's ready back up. And then we're going to keep Black Cat to help us mill the deck for a swing web kick. So drawing back up to our hand size of 6 here. And we already got the swing web kick. So if we can survive 1 more turn, then we can win the game. So it is Zola's turn. 1 threat to the main scheme. And then he will add a test counter. He's going to scheme with a base of 3 plus boost card here. Boost effect, shuffle Zola's Mutate into the encounter deck. So, not sure what that would do, but there is no boost icons there. So he's just scheming for 3. This guy's scheming for 0, so this will only go up by 3. And then we get 1 face down encounter card for a total of 2 here. And the first one is Mind Ray in Alter Ego. Zola schemes and you're confused. Okay, that's not great. So he is scheming for 3. Let's use Spycraft to cancel it actually. So we can discard Spycraft, cancel this encounter card, and review another encounter card from the encounter deck, which is an Assault. It surges in Alter Ego form. attached to a min with the most remaining hit points, he gets +2 hit points and a 2/2 stat line. Okay, one more encounter card. Another Berserker Mutate with Quick Strike, but it won't go off because we're in Ultra Eco form. Okay, cool. So I think that is game. So let's flip over back to Spiderman, and we will use this as 3 resources. So we can play a Swinging Web Kick and hit Zola for 8, and that will bring him from 8 down to 0. And that is Zola on Expert Mode.